Hey guys, welcome to the after show for Unlocking the Truth, where tonight we are reviewing season 1, episode 4, called We Shouldn't Talk About This. But you know what? We are going to talk about this. We'll be right back.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
When you were 8 and you had I told you to be back on.
Getting on the vibes.
There you go. Hey guys, welcome. We were sad this song wasn't going to come back, but here we are. It's back. We can dance to it. What's up? Welcome to the after show for Unlocking the Truth. We're so excited to be here tonight. We have a new case to discuss as well. That and our other, not old cases, but I don't know, cases we want resolutions to. So my name is Nadine Della Pelle, and you can follow me all over the social media interwebs at Nadine DP and the number 3. And to my left, I have two lovely ladies.
Thank you, Nadine. Guys, welcome to the show. My name is Maddi Makely, and you can find me on all my socials at Maddi_Makely.
Hey, I'm Abigail Fraher, and you can find me on all social media at Abigail Fraher.
Awesome. And remember, guys, to like, comment, tweet, chat all throughout the show. We have our phones on us, so let us know how you guys are feeling about what happened as well. We want to hear your opinion. All right, so like I said, tonight we had 3 cases to discuss, which was it kind of hurt my head a little bit. I don't mind it. I love, obviously, learning about new cases and stuff, but it's just all these facts at once.
Facts,
it's very hard to
everything.
Yeah, to keep up week to week to week. So what do you guys? I always start off with. So what did we think? What was our initial thoughts about this episode in general?
Oh my gosh. Well, just like every time, it gets more people, more facts, more everything, but are we even that much closer? Because I don't know. Because now, thank God we talked to the friend, by the way, we'll get into it, of Calvin's case. I've been waiting for, Michael's case. I've been getting into that one. But I don't know. I mean, they brought new people in just like we were expecting. Everything's going good. I want to know now. And now they introduce a new case, so now we have to wait longer on the other 2. But MTV,
I just want answers.
Actually, although I do actually now have grasped and agreed with MTV's the way that the direction they're going in with these episodes. So I actually like the way that they're having us wait. Keeps us the suspense up and everything. So I'm digging it for sure.
It definitely keeps us tuning in, and I think that I had my first feeling of, I think this person's guilty.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, should we wait or should we hear now? Maybe
we can wait.
Okay, we'll wait. All right.
I don't want to keep people tuning in now, right?
Keep watching us so you can see who
you guys have to
maybe
watch
I'm
us
guilty.
too. I mean, come on.
Yeah, who's on our guilty list? So let's bring it back out. It was good. I didn't mind it. It was really good. It's just like I said, it's a lot of facts to remember because they bring up stuff and I'm like, wait, what was his name again? I forget his name. And it's just, I like to be so invested and involved in a case where I know everything. I know it sounds so weird, but I love to just really know everything. That way I can really form an opinion about what I think happened.
Do they work on all these, do you know, at the same time? Or is it through a period where they solve one, do the next one?
I'm not sure yet. We can look that up.
I need to I'm going to write that down because I want to know because I can't even imagine trying to do
because I remember when they first started with Michael's case and then they went to Calvin's, they were in that one room that that they write stuff on the board and they were moving Michael's stuff kind of out of the way.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know if that was just
and Eva was who should we start with? Should we start with Michael and Palete, or should we start? So I think that I think they're kind of doing it kind of the way that we're looking at it, which is all at once.
Okay.
Which I
Yikes. No,
I can really keep up with them.
Yeah.
Going and doing all the dirty work.
It's a lot for us. I can only imagine how they're feeling.
Going through,
right? So we start off. We start with Calvin Michael Smith, and we ended it last episode. And I know we were all kind of excited because his mom, Sheila, she's a firecracker. That woman. And we left with her chasing Eugene. And so at the beginning of this episode, she finally meets up with Eugene. And I thought it was going to be this whole cat and mouse game where Eugene didn't want to talk to her, etc. But we find out that he's just like, hey, what's up? What's up? I'm just hanging out. I'm not running away from you. So that was a good cliffhanger for them to leave us with, even though he stuck around. So and he even talks with Ryan as well. And he basically just tells us what a lot of other people in all these cases are saying is just the police during this interrogation just completely coerced him to say something that didn't actually happen. He just says that the police basically were like, you basically have to say that you were with him at this store that you've never been to, or you're going to get arrested.
Right.
It's just mind-blowing.
Yeah,
it's how they can do that.
It's totally mind-blowing.
And so then he just basically goes and says, it wasn't just me. It was also Pamela and Audrey, all the people that were witnesses to Calvin. We all kind of said what we had to say to get out of whatever pickle they were going to put us into.
Yeah.
So
First of all, I love that Calvin's mom is such a fighter. She's just like hunting him down. I think we said this last episode too, how she just hunted that kid down and was like, no, Gene, where is he at? And then and he kind of calls him, she kind of calls him out. And like you said, I thought he was going to play a little cat and mouse game too, but he actually cooperated pretty well. You can tell that when they're going to all these old, quote unquote witnesses maybe.
Yeah.
They're all a little timid to say anything because they could, come back and it could come back to haunt them in a way. But I feel like they're giving enough information to the point where that won't happen. But I don't know. I don't understand why police wouldn't give in to this, or why Eugene, especially if your friend's still in jail and you're out enjoying your life, like, why wouldn't you want to go back and be like, no, actually, I lied. I was intimidated.
Because it is that fear, though. Yeah, it's that fear that they could get now charged for lying on a witness stand, which is a federal offense. So I get that. But
now it's on television anyway, so it's like, you're dug yourself in this, Steve. So why not just get your friend out of jail? How long could they actually go to jail for in that case?
Well, I think now too with the show, it's giving them that outlet.
Yeah.
Kind of to be more comfortable saying things. I think that's like a little bit of a different level than maybe they've experienced before.
Yeah.
I think there's more comfort and there's more not like people behind them saying, hey, it's okay. Because I feel like we didn't probably see, but I'm sure a producer or someone spoke to him as well, just to say like, it's going to be okay, or something like that. But yeah, I think it was really refreshing to see him just lay out the truth, and it was unreal to me. It was shocking to me to like hear him say that all of this stuff never happened, and I still am having a hard time fathoming how someone just ends up saying that they were there, even if they really weren't. To me, even if you're scared, I don't know. That was still a little hard for me to swallow. But
yeah, I know it is hard, and I can't really comprehend it either. But we just keep seeing all these similarities in all these cases.
Right.
So it's like there's something psychologically that does go on, that does happen to convince these people of these things. And I think it's fear, and it's just wanting to leave. And so I think overall it's fear.
Yeah.
But I think like what you were saying is, why aren't these people coming out? I think they've been wanting to, and this is like what we were saying. This is the type of show, and meeting these people. This is their first chance to be able to do that. So I don't think they've ever had the motivation or the chance out of fear once again. And it's just the saddest thing, that fear is what's driving all these people to stay quiet or to do what they're doing. So hopefully now they'll, like, obviously they gave consent to be on camera, shows that, that they're willing to let that statement be shown. And same thing with Pamela Morris. So we find Pamela Moore, who is one of the other witnesses, one of the ex-girlfriends. And she also says that she was forced to say things, and that she didn't actually hear Eugene say that, or Calvin say that he killed her. She said, no, I was saying that Eugene was telling me that Calvin said that, not that I heard Calvin say that. And they wouldn't let her go until she basically reversed what that opinion was.
That's just not right.
But but when she was talking, I was like, well, is she lying too? I was like, I don't know who to believe with all this
Is she lying now, or was she lying then, or what? Yeah, there's so much lying going on.
Yeah, and it's just so hard. And I think that us as viewers, we're set out to just believe that these people are innocent.
Yeah.
And you have to kind of keep reminding yourself that they could be guilty.
Right. And that was... there goes the water.
Water spillage. We're good.
That was crazy too, because that's where you find Ryan, getting kind of checked there, because he was kind of not being objective at one point, and he had to be checked. And I was like, that's got to be hard, because you want to believe these people are. And why would you be fighting for someone who's not innocent? So it's hard.
And Pamela even, she's like, well, me and Calvin are friends. And does Calvin think you're friends? Like, are you? I'm sure they are now, but maybe, I don't know. We don't know their relationship. But she was like, no, me and Calvin are still friends and stuff. And it's so sad what happened to him. But, like, if you really feel that bad, like, say something. Like, I don't know why everyone's holding back so much in all of these cases, honestly. Like, I just don't, it just doesn't make sense to me. But, and then Don Williams,
Detective Don Williams.
Don Williams. He seems like I'm not feeling him at all, because they all keep saying that they were driven by him to admit to something that, they basically said, Dom said that if you don't say this, you're you're taking as much time as he will anyway, so you better admit to it or you're screwed. So.
You're not having Don over for dinner. You're not hanging
Not
out with
having
Don.
Don over for dinner. Not bringing him to Mama.
Not a buddy?
doing anything. No.
All right, sorry, Don. There's
Sorry,
an
Don.
official rejection on
fan.
AfterBuzz.
You lost
Is
the
there
fan.
is there a recording too of when they're talking to people? Because is that even legal for him to tell Eugene like that lie that Calvin admitted to the crime and that Eugene was with him? Like,
Well,
is
they're
there,
giving
there's-
consent to be on camera right now, so they're giving the consent.
No, but
to
I
be-
mean, was the detective videoed when he sent? Because there's no way that that's all.
I don't know. See, that's the thing that we found in the Michael Palete case too,
Yeah.
is that there are all these interviews that happen before people are put on camera too.
So crazy.
That you don't really know. You know what I
Right.
mean? Before they're coerced. So who knows? You know what I mean? We have no idea. But that's basically all we really have
Yeah,
with
not
Calvin's
much.
case. We basically just find, which is huge though, we have 2 eyewitnesses that basically are retracting their statements. But I did like what you said, that like Ava was checking Ryan and being like, hey, like she could just be saying that because they're friends, you know? And I'm happy that she did that, because at least one of them, or at least for us too, because
Staying
I feel like
on it, right.
we're also just believing and thinking they're innocent. So I'm glad she said that and
Yeah.
you know, checked all of us. But yeah, so that was it about Calvin. Anything? What do we think?
Nothing
What do we
really.
think? Final thoughts on Calvin?
I just want to know.
You just want to know?
I'm tired.
So
I'm
we're
tired
thinking
of
he's
this.
innocent?
I
Yeah.
still think it's Kenneth.
Kenneth?
Yeah.
Whatever. Because I mean, there's nothing. They didn't bring anyone else into this. Because I mean, besides that, I don't think anyone else could have done it besides Kenneth. So
Kenneth.
Kenneth.
That was an accent mark at
Give
the
me a
end of
pet
his.
name. But yeah,
the E.
I don't know.
All right.
That's probably where I'm still at with this one. Hopefully
Yeah,
we'll get more.
I agree with you on that. How about you?
Same. I want justice for Calvin, because I
Justice.
know I felt the same way the whole time. I really don't think he
agree.
did it, and I'm exhausted, I think, of this case.
Of this case, yeah. And I think that's why they put it in the beginning and didn't have a lot of information.
I do like
because
that, though.
it's-
I think it'd be interesting to watch all of the episodes in a row to see how they are picking up and putting down, because I think this is the first one that they back-to-backed.
Yeah.
If I'm
no, you're right.
thinking correctly,
Yeah.
but that I liked that they did that.
They
this
did that
time.
because it was fresh if you watched
Yes.
the last one right prior. All right, well, let's get on to case number 2, which is Michael Palete this time. He, once again, is in jail for second-degree murder for life for allegedly killing his mother when he was 14 years old. So this time around with Michael, we finally get the witness that we've been wanting to chat with since episode 1. All of us have been like, what happened to the friend? Especially you. You were just
Like,
freaking
that
out.
friend- and I thought I was getting worried because I thought that they were just gonna like toss it to the side and
Yeah.
not do anything. But thank God.
Yeah.
But I mean, we still haven't talked to him yet. But
No, yes, we haven't talked to him. So Josh, we find out, is the said friend's name that we've been trying to figure out where'd the friend go in all of this. So he basically says 3 statements. He had a handwritten statement that says that what had happened that night was he was sleeping over at Michael's house because they got stoned, they set a fire outside, they're just being 14-year-old dumb kids, and he didn't want to go home because his eyes were so red and he knew his mom was going to yell at him. Makes him seem so innocent. It's a believable story. And so they just went to sleep. He went to sleep on the floor. Michael went to sleep in his bed. And he says that he woke up in the middle of the night to a bunch of smoke, and they both got down on all fours and they crawled out, went to the neighbor's house, called the police. That was it. And then a recorded statement a few days later, he says that he woke up in the middle of the night, which he didn't write in this handwritten statement, which I feel like he would have. We'll discuss in a second. He did this recorded statement and said that, well, I woke up a few times in the middle of the night and Josh was out of bed and he wasn't there. And then 4 years later at a deposition, he says, oh, well, I don't know if Josh was in bed when I woke up or not. I have no idea. So this guy's all over the place. I don't know what to do with him. I love that collectively that's how we're all feeling. It's just,
like, what would have pushed him to like come out now and be like, I think this is another kind of detective thing, kind of pushing kids to say, I just want to put your friend in jail, and if you don't say this, then I'm gonna put you in jail too, kind of thing. So now all of a sudden you can't remember. And I think there was someone else said a statement throughout this episode where she was like, if oh my god, what was it? Oh, if you have a traumatic experience like that, that's something you don't forget. You don't forget the details like that. So for these people to say that they just forget is what's no.
it means because they're forgetting something that they were told to say that didn't actually happen.
Or they forgot their own story of what they said.
What they lied about.
Of what they lied about. So
Yeah.
now they're trying to retract their own story, and I don't know if I think he necessarily did it, but I think he's lying about the whole seeing him in bed and stuff, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a heavy thing to forget. Like, was he in bed or was he not in bed? Like, it's not like, was there a pillow on the bed? I mean, that's a person. I'm like, I don't know which way to go with that, because I normally would want to go with their first statement, because I think that that's probably the most unedited and unaltered. However, then he describes like the bed being made in the video and stuff like that. So it's just, but his whole demeanor in the video was weird to me. He was very stoic, and it almost seemed, I mean, he looked creepy in the video. Yeah. And I don't think it was just because it was, the early 90s or whatever.
Early 90s,
but he was just, he looked like very,
like something happened.
Like honestly,
it was uncomfortable.
Almost like he was just staring in like one place, and they even mentioned it seemed like he was almost reading a script, like not reading it, but like he studied a script of what to say when you're asked these questions, and this is what you're gonna say, and then he had to like really like focus and be like, what was that? What do I say now? Kind of thing. So.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm still questionable about him. I'm still very questionable that he could have been a suspect. He's still on a suspect list for me, especially. I think what did happen, though, especially, it could go two ways. It was either what we've been hearing, that the cops kind of forced this confession out of him, or it's the fact that he at first had handwritten this statement because he didn't know he could really pin it on Michael until the police basically gave him that idea that he could pin it on Michael, and then he just kind of went with it. Right. But then, and then maybe 4 years later, though, then he has guilt that he did that, and then he's like, well, I don't know if he was in bed or not, and now he's just nervous. I don't know. It's all really, really sketchy. Weird. But they're just making it seem as if the police were just a big factor once again. So it goes with Josh in the fact where Michael and Ava now they're trying to get in touch with him. And they're both really nervous about getting this interview, because it's so true, though. You have one opportunity, you have one chance to be able to kind of get this guy to confess to you, because if he's not willing to talk to anybody, not lawyers or anything, why the heck would he talk to you? But the thing that weirded me out was Ryan, why, like, okay, you call your dad, which is cute, for advice. I thought that was great. I love that little insert. Yeah. But you're gonna send a text message. I get it, because you want to not be nervous on the phone and mumble your words. You can actually review your text a few times, see what you're gonna say to him. But why say what you said to him? Why? He's just like, hey, what's up? Like, it's Ryan Ferguson. Like, I don't know who Ryan Ferguson is.
That was like creepy almost. If I got a text like that, that's like, I think we shared the same experience back in the day. Yeah. Like hit me up to like, it's like, he must have like not read a portion of it or something.
He couldn't have.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Right?
I don't know. Well, I don't know, because he never mentioned in there, I want to talk about this. Like, he never really went into depth about what he wanted to talk about, but then the response from Josh was, I don't feel comfortable talking about this, which even makes him look sketchier. This is a friend of yours, man. Like, come on. But Ryan, come on, what are you doing, man? Like, that was like almost a creepy, like, it was, and especially because I kept like building on this so much and saying how important it is for him to respond and like want to talk to them. You could have done it so much better. Yeah.
Well, maybe they didn't. Maybe they just edited it out. Maybe they had to have. There had to be something.
You would hope, because like, but also the way he responds, I feel like if it was 2 hours later, honestly, he probably just Googled Ryan Ferguson. You're gonna find information on him. So he could have also put 2 and 2 together. I mean, possibly. Yeah. And I'm a texter. Don't get me wrong. Like, I would much rather talk to someone, like, not actually talk to them. I would rather type to someone. But
yeah, I don't know. It was like, interesting.
We share the same and why would you ever want to put, like, I don't know. It's just, no.
I mean, I get what he was trying to do. I just think he didn't execute it in the right way. But at least he did get a response back, and Josh was super sweet and just said, like, hey, like, sorry, I don't want to talk about this part of my life. Like, I get it. It's a very hard time in your life.
How selfish are you, though, to say something like that? Even like,
you could be guilty,
right? But like, that's the only reason I would think someone's guilty, because it's like, I don't even care if you didn't do it and it really did haunt you and you're trying to move past it. It's like, how do you think your friend feels sitting in jail for the rest of his life?
I'm kind of like seeing a trend here with all of the cases, though. Like no one's speaking up in anything.
No one cares.
No, everyone's like, oh, it's not me.
Well, it's funny because like when they're on MTV, then they're like, oh, I care so much, I feel so bad. But then if you care, why are you hiding? Why are you telling MTV this information? Now, MTV can't get this kid. I mean, they're pretty much hiring someone.
They kind of can, though, because they have recorded statement of them on video saying that, you know.
But where were you? I mean, these people have been in jail for 15, 20 years. Like, come on.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think like we've been saying, it's some type of fear, I guess. I don't know. I mean, this kid could have done it. Who knows? And when they were so we also go to Bill's General Store, which is the hot hangout back in the 90s for all you early teenagers. Head over to Bill's for some rock candy and pop soda.
What a great live read for Bill's.
Thank you. They're paying me later. I'll split it. So we go to Bill's General Store and we meet up with some old buddies of Michael and Josh's, and they basically said that Josh, when that happened, he got beaten up and he was bullied because everyone was like, how the heck could you do that to your best friend? Like, there's no evidence on this kid, and you were the only type of real evidence
right.
that pointed it at him. And so no one believed him at all. And what's it called? And then they also go in and say that Kurt Davis, who was one of the investigators on this case, that we see in the recorded video with Josh during his recorded statement on video. And they say that he was walking around this general store and always came up to the kids and was like, hey, your friend is going to get what he deserves. I hope he rots in prison and all this stuff. Basically saying like, hey, like we have all this mounds of evidence that your friend did it, but there wasn't mounds of evidence that his friend did it. So it was very interesting why Kurt Davis even decided to go talk to all these little kids about something so serious as a murder, which makes me question him as well.
Yeah, that was so confusing. And
really
what grown man tries to intimidate young teenagers?
I want to know what his
and why
his relationship was with the town in general and Rita, honestly, and like that whole family, because he must. I mean, it's a small town, so it's like and everyone knows everyone type of thing. But I kind of want to know like why was he so sure that Michael did it then?
Yeah.
You know, like I kind of want to see his. Now I want to see his background. So he just put himself on my list.
You on suspect list?
Now no one's making Maddie's good list tonight. But but yeah, I don't know. That's even weirder too. I mean, I don't know. Josh, to me personally, is like kind of like flown off my chart a little bit. Like I feel like he was like one of the other ones that were just intimidated by a bunch of investigators.
Yeah.
But now I want to see Kurt Davis. So
you want to see Kurt?
I want to see Kurt.
I think another reason he could have gone around was just to kind of be like, get more information. Like, hey, have you talked to Josh? Have you talked to Michael even? Like, have they said anything to you? Maybe using an intimidation thing for one of the kids to be like, well, no, Michael actually, or Josh is the one that actually did it. He just admitted it. Like, who knows? Maybe that was his idea of it.
Or maybe if he knows, what's Ed, Michael's dad. Michael's dad, right? I wonder if
they didn't even talk about him in this episode.
They didn't even talk about him at all. But maybe, I don't know, maybe he has some relation to Ed, and Ed was like, hey, I'm gonna get my brother into this too, and we're all gonna set this up together, and you're gonna say that since you have a higher. Okay, that was really sad.
I know.
That was really sad.
The emotion in the room just like died completely.
It was that pout too. That pout was like,
aww.
You're gonna set up on your son.
Yeah,
I'm gonna cry. So sad. No, I don't know. I mean, keep talking. I interrupted you. Keep talking.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll find out later. But Kurt, we want to talk to you too.
All right, Kurt. Come on the show. Let's talk to
on
you.
the show. We need to talk.
Yeah, and then we kind of end out this whole Michael Palete section with talking to Wayne Wallace, who was just a friend of Josh. So he was best friends with Josh, this other boy that was in the room the night Rita was killed. And the main thing that we kind of got from that whole statement was that Josh is a really sound sleeper. So talking with Wayne, and then he also says that Josh was just completely shaken up when he saw him, and he was like crying basically. And he's never seen that side of his friend, so something terrible really happened. So I took that in two ways. Is he saying that Josh is a really sound sleeper, to be like, hey, anything could have happened when he was sleeping? Right. And then I also took it of, well, that completely goes against what Josh said, because Josh said he got up 2 or 3 times in the night because he heard a dog bark. He like hit something in the room. Like, really, you're gonna wake up to all those things? Right. And so I don't know how to. And then obviously all shooken up, and I was like, well, maybe because he did something, or maybe because he said a lie about Michael, and that's why. So I'm going on the point of Josh is either did it or not did it. He's a suspect, so possibly did it, or he's just fibbing about the whole Michael
It's so
thing.
split, right? It's so split.
It is split. I mean, I don't know like what really to say about that one either. I just don't. I'm not really getting anywhere with just this Josh kid. I don't think he did it, but I mean,
So you're no to Josh doing
I'm
it?
gonna say no to Josh because
Okay.
I mean this is his best friend. His best friend's like he's a sound sleeper, and I think Josh was probably just really shaken up by. I mean, he said that this intimidation process was brutal. He described it to be brutal and how they wouldn't let him leave, and just hours and hours of asking the same questions with the same answers. Like after a while, like I get annoyed when people ask me the same thing twice. Let alone
Don't make me
like,
repeat
for
myself.
hours
my
and
bad.
hours. And like I'm sure at some point he must have like gotten tired and forgot what he said, and then they tried pinning it on him and saying, oh well, this is what you said before, kind of thing. So I think he's just shaken up and he can't believe. I mean, these are small town kids, so for them to go through that is just kind of, I don't know.
A kid that's not gonna go home because he's high, I don't think he's gonna kill a lady.
Yeah.
Like if he's gonna kill someone, he's gonna go home with his eyes red and be like, "Yeah, mom,
yeah.
my eyes are red."
Yeah.
Like I don't think he's gonna light a lady on fire.
So if you see anyone with their eyes red that don't want to go home, they're not murderers.
They're not
Don't worry. They've done nothing wrong.
It's just like he just sounds like such a typical
Yeah.
14-year-old. Like
All of them do.
All right, so Josh for me is on a suspicious list. He's
Yeah.
off your list. Is he on your list?
he was the
Okay.
first 2 episodes, but then now I'm
Now,
kind of
now that we've talked to him, you're over it?
Yeah.
All right. All right, so we'll see. So that case is still open for us as well, Michael's case. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we move
dun, dun.
on to the third case of the night, Mr. Byron. And I don't think we have a last name, do we?
I think we
Case.
It's just,
Byron. Oh wait, maybe.
but is it Byron Kate? That's what I was
don't
confused
know.
about. No, don't sound stupid. I didn't know if
there was
it
me
I
was.
who
saw
like,
Byron Case on the show, but now that I mention it, it's a case. So I saw Byron Case. I don't know. I'll have to look
Yeah,
it up
I
later.
don't know either if it's Byron. We'll do our homework.
All
Everyone.
right, homework,
Sorry
homework,
about this.
sorry. Okay,
Wait.
so
But yeah, I was confused. If his
Yeah.
last name is Case
You're
or
right.
if it was
Yeah.
Byron
Yep.
I
Case.
saw on the screen it was Case. Okay, sorry. I don't know.
Byron, we'll just go by Byron for now because
Byron.
we're
That's
all
easy enough.
We're all sorts of confused. So to set it up a little bit, so he's in jail, a life sentence for first degree. Why am I said that word so. I said like sentence, like writing a sentence. So he's in there for life.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone.
These sound effects are
All
excellent
right, so
today.
third one. Sorry, I'm all murdered out. So he's in life in prison for first degree murder. In 1997, what happened was a woman named Anastasia. She was shot in the face and she was found by a police cop in a cemetery, just laying there with a gunshot wound to the head.
You just said police cop. Sorry.
Police officer. My brain is fried, guys.
It's time to go
Long
home.
day.
A police cop found her. It wasn't, a RoboCop. It was
Detectives, all 3 of us would just be like,
trying to explain all of this. I'm sorry.
What's sad is
guys.
I had to think about that for a minute. I'm like, wait, what is that? And I'm like,
Police
oh my
cop.
god.
person.
Am I supposed to know
Continue. I'm
police
so
cop?
sorry. That was so
no, police cop. That's what they are called from now on. Is police
Very
cops.
friendly with police cops.
So this police cop found this woman Anastasia shot in the face. This is so sad. We're laughing at this.
I know.
Shot in the
That's not fun.
cemetery, and what had happened was what the story is that this boy Justin and Anastasia, who was their boyfriend girlfriend, they both were killed the exact same night. They'd gotten into a fight, and what the original story statement is that they got in a fight, and then a couple hours later, Anastasia was dead and Justin was dead. And the case is with Byron, who is best friends with this couple, and him and his girlfriend Kelly, they're couples that are best friends with one another. So they agree to that. That's what happened. They have no idea what else happened. They just know that they were with their friends. Their friends got in a fight, and then a few hours later, their friends are dead, which is terrifying to even think about that happened. But 3 years later, Kelly decides to come on back to the police and be like, hey, by the way, I was lying 3 years ago. Byron and I both were lying. Byron actually shot and killed them. And we've been lying, and here you go, and here's my statement. So now Byron's in jail for life because of this, because she retracted the statement.
People, I've said this multiple times. I never want to have ex-boyfriends. I never, because they're gonna.
Are you in a relationship right now?
Yes.
You're marrying him.
Babe.
Do you hear that?
You're getting
Do you
married. You
hear
can't have an
that?
ex-boyfriend.
No, but seriously, I never in a million years
Yeah.
that people could be so. But then, this case goes on, obviously, but why are all the exes coming back? This is like their
And
lives.
haunting them,
People,
yeah.
Can we also talk about how it's all the girl exes?
It's all the girls
Girls
exes.
are crazy.
Girls
Are
are
crazy. Well,
We're
she
crazy.
got really crazy. No, but she actually ended up being a crack homeless person on the street.
It's like a subtext.
So
she says this, and then but she actually is a crack addict, an
She's a crack
alcoholic,
addict
and a liar.
I mean, like, and it's
Yeah.
so funny because like when she's when they get the voiceover of her calling Byron at the end, she's even like, I mean, everyone's pointing at me because I know I'm a crack addict and an alcoholic and homeless, and I'm just like, the list goes on. And I'm just like, dude, like,
her credibility is kind of shot.
Yeah,
But yeah, so she basically says in her retracted statement now that she was told to stay in the car when Anastasia and Justin were fighting, and that Byron just went to the back seat of the car, or to the trunk, got a gun, and this is what I was confused about. He got a gun and shot Anastasia?
Right.
So who shot Justin?
Well, I think that was a suicide, wasn't it?
It was a suicide. I mean, I guess it could have been. So
But why would Justin watch her get shot and then go kill himself?
Because he watched his girlfriend get shot.
But just leave?
If I was
Like,
Justin,
it just doesn't add up.
If I was Justin and found out or saw or heard that my best friend just killed my girlfriend, shot her in the face.
Well, maybe they coerced together to do that, though. You know what I mean? Like,
but I thought he would have killed himself because my girlfriend, the love of my life, just got killed, kind of thing. So that's where I was going with it. Is who knows who did this? All I know is my girlfriend's dead now, and I can't go on with life, so I'm gonna kill myself.
see, I took it as
Justin's
Justin killed Anastasia and then killed himself.
Right.
That's what I took it as. Even though, so just to be clear, they haven't been able to prove any tie to the death of Justin to the death of Anastasia. So they happened the same night, but there's no evidence, there's no DNA, there's nothing that can prove that the same gun or anything was tied together with that. So that's what's been the biggest mystery.
The only thing is the gun used to kill Anastasia was not the same gun to kill him.
Exactly.
So, I mean, how many people own guns? I mean,
A lot of people.
I was like,
lot of people own guns.
I am like, I own a gun. But
Yeah.
I don't know. This one's weird.
So yeah, so the whole premise that it kind of goes around is at the time they say, so we talk with Cynthia, who is Byron's attorney now, and she kind of lays this story of how at that time the Columbine shooting had just happened. And it was a time where, I mean, I guess we were all too young for this, but I mean, everyone, the Gothic
I remember
name
that,
and label.
Hey, I was at that stage when I was in middle school. Not even going to deny it.
Right, but that's 2000. And you were in middle school in 2000. But in 2000, that's when I was in fourth grade. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something, but I do remember at least people being like, don't stay away from those goth people.
Yeah, they're
and
bad
it was
people.
a very
they're dangerous, all that stuff.
It was a movement.
Yeah, it was. And that's what she's kind of bringing up. And Byron and his friends, they were all Gothic kids, so to speak, and put in quotes. So he was already had kind of a bad rap just because of what he looked like and how he dressed, etc. So Columbine happened at the same time as when Kelly came back and said kind of like, hey, you know, Byron actually did it, and I sat in the car and I watched this happen, and I kept my mouth shut all these years. And it makes me just think there too as well, like, why she wouldn't be afraid, if she wasn't lying, why wouldn't she be afraid to tell the truth then, even though it would prosecute herself, because she was accessory to a murder.
Right.
You know what I mean? When all these other people who actually, you know, maybe they're the ones who are telling the truth, they're afraid, even though they didn't do anything wrong. Right. So that right there was just a weird
because she's smoking
connection.
crack.
Yeah, because she's smoking crack. She seems, honestly, this girl seems like a lunatic
That's
to
my
me.
answer to everything. With her.
Yeah. So Byron, we hear from Byron, and Byron's just like, yeah, I'm a weirdo. We're all weirdos. And I'm like, yeah, I'm a weirdo too. Like, whatever, I get it. Like, you're not a killer though. And that's why I love this statement.
Right.
Yeah, I'm weird. I'm a little off. It doesn't mean I'm a killer.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's a valid statement.
Also, shooting someone in the face, that's
personal.
Yeah.
that's personal. That's, like I said before with the whole burning, that's hate. That, who would have wanted this girl? Like, I kind of like how you said it must have, or it could have been Justin, her boyfriend, because then he would have killed himself. But I mean, what kind of relation? I mean, we don't know their friend group, but what kind of relation and hate would Byron would have had to his friend's girlfriend? You know, and then.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I don't know. They said that they all hung out. These two couples were inseparable, I guess. They hung out all the time. So who knows? There's always tension here and there. But it's who else did it, though? That's the question.
Yeah.
We really don't have any other, suspects as of now. The only thing we kind of have is the fact that Kelly is just a psychotic ex-girlfriend that found out that Byron is going to move away, basically because of her. And she flipped out or this is what he says, that she flipped out and and that was it. And we talked to this woman named Jamie Rickley, who's a friend of Byron's for years now. And she says in quotes that I guess when Byron told Kelly he was leaving, Kelly said, "I will make your life a living hell if you leave."
That sounds like a threat to me.
Sounds like a threat, but who knows how credible Jamie even is, you know? Who knows, like, that's just a hearsay. All this is hearsay because nothing is recorded. There's no actual evidence of all this.
Yeah, but I mean, she admitted herself she's a crack addict. I'm sure she's just a lunatic, from what we've been saying. I could kind of see her saying something like that, to be honest. I wonder, though, if along with this statement that they're maybe not mentioning is if she was like, and I'm going to tell them that you killed Anastasia a few years ago, but they don't want to mention that or something. I don't know. And then so when Kelly called Byron. Sorry. When Kelly called Byron, he was silent on the phone. She's like, why did you kill her? Why did you kill her? And he was just silent. Yeah. So, but he never said he didn't do it. But I'm just kind of thinking, I wonder if she kind of manipulated him a little bit and he just wants to keep quiet and keep completely out of it, and because he knows that anything he says can be used later on. So that's where I'm kind of thinking.
Well, like, my thing was, first of all, if I was on the other end of that phone, I would have said some choice words because she just didn't stop. I mean, she was just like strung out, repeating herself, which was annoying in itself. But this whole time I was like, this guy is so innocent. But it just, the actual hard evidence we have
until that moment
doesn't follow it. And now I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
And his aunt, like, probably because we shouldn't talk about this. If that was me, I would be like, you're crazy. Like, there's, are you on something now? Like, you're high. Give them my number. Have them call me. Like, they're, but he's just like, silent, like almost like a panic attack or something. I don't know.
I mean, there was a murder. That everything is fishy, you know, and maybe she killed her and Byron tried helping her cover up. Maybe he had a part to do with it. But yeah, you're right. I'm giving all these facts in the beginning of saying like, well, she's crazy, she could be innocent.
I didn't think of that,
until that
she did it.
Who knows? Maybe she did do it.
And then he covered it up.
And he covered it up with her. We have no proof with any of it.
He seems like he was kind of like, they're broken up, but he was kind of taking care of her a little bit. She always came to his house to shower, eat, or when she needed money. So maybe back then he tried covering it up too. And who knows?
Who knows? I mean, when you're in love with someone too, you do some crazy stuff. Even
he probably knew she was wacko.
Well, she was the whole time they were together and stuff. But I mean, it was either the two ways the conversation goes is we shouldn't talk about this because he doesn't want to, deal with it right then because he's guilty, or we shouldn't talk about this because he knows maybe people are listening into this and anything he says could incriminate him regardless, even though not saying anything kind of incriminated him.
Well, maybe he just knows something else, or maybe there's someone completely out of the blue that killed her and stuff. So, but
who knows?
Who knows?
So that's kind of where we're at with this. It's just it's this up in the air where they want you, obviously to believe that he's innocent and Kelly's just crazy, but then it's like a whodunit. Who did it then? And what happened that terrible night that two people were killed, and what led Justin to be so upset with his life that he killed himself? What did he witness? What did he see? Man, that was deep. That was
really deep.
All right, let's get some predictions going, if we can.
Please.
That was just a deep end. I'm so sorry. Dun, dun, dun. The lights go off. All right, I guess we've done our predictions on the first two cases, so let's just do last predictions on Byron.
I think we're gonna find new people in this and everything, but I'm gonna stick with obviously. I mean, we all know how these cases go now, but what
do we?
Yes, we do. Yeah. We are figuring out these cases with Eva.
We're detectives. We're great.
With Eva and Ryan, not watching them do it. We are with them at this point.
Love it. I'm with you, girl.
Okay. I think that I like what you said. How Justin.
You're adorable. You're so adorable tonight. This is great.
I like what you said. How Justin, I think, did it and felt so bad about it. Felt like he was gonna go to jail maybe and killed himself after. So that's my take on it. But you're right. Was this the case that you said you might think he's guilty?
Yeah.
There's I want to say.
Oh yes, this is the case I was talking about.
All right, this is the case. Yeah,
Answer.
We don't to wait to the end of the episode, everyone.
There's like a 5% that he might actually be guilty, but who knows?
There's so many open roads here that we could go down. And you know, that all came to, like, maybe he did kind of clean up her mess again. And so I think that there's too many open-ended questions still for me to go with something specific, but I am definitely way more fishy about him being a suspect than I have been any of the other people. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. And yeah, I agree. I think are going to be more people added. We're going to meet more people into this. There's be more suspects brought out and stuff. I think they want us to think, this is my other, like, what do they want me to think? What am I really going to think?
Right.
Can't trick me. I think they want us to think that Kelly's just crazy and that he's innocent. But in this case, I think that they both had something to do with it. And I think that's going to come out. And I don't think it was just one or the other. I think that one person covered up. Because regardless, she's already even incriminating herself in that statement saying, I sat in the car and didn't say anything for 3 years. Like, she should go to jail just for that statement. You know, like, why it wasn't she in jail with Byron right now? That's what I want to know. Why isn't Kelly in jail currently?
Right.
Yeah.
Anywho, so we would love to know your thoughts as well. Please leave comments and let us know. Tweet us, you know, Instagram us photos of your crazy board and wall and what you guys think are happening.
Know.
We'll show it on here too, you guys. If you guys have some crazy plans, we'll air it for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So remember to like us and rate us on iTunes. Give us 5 stars. Follow us everywhere at AfterBuzz TV. And you can follow me personally everywhere. You can see my rant about this show and all my other shows at Nadine DP and the number 3. Any ladies?
Doing this, I missed the real OG.
The real OG.
I know. Shout out.
Shout out.
She's our girl.
Yeah, our 4th. We lost a 4th,
one along the road.
unfortunately.
She has
Work
better
conflicts.
things to do, apparently. So
She's just keeping it real. Keeping it real.
She's keeping the real OG. Okay, but anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'm Maddi Makely. You can find me on all my socials at Maddi_Makely.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm Abigail Fraher, and you can follow me at Abigail Fraher.
That's it for us, guys. Catch you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.